Welcome to another Coastin With Quayz coaster review. This is Mark, aka Quayz. Today, I will be reviewing Talon at Dorney Park and Wildwater Kingdom. Talon is Dorney Park's B&M inverted coaster. It is located at the front of the park, and for many visitors, it is the first ride of the day. Without further ado, let's jump into Talon's stats. Talon is located at Dorney Park in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It was manufactured by Bulliger and Mabillard. It has a maximum height of 135 feet with a 120-foot spiraling drop. The angle of descent is 50 degrees. The track length is 3,110 feet with a top speed of 58 miles per hour. It includes 4 inversions. It opened in the year 2001, and it has a minimum height requirement of 54 inches. When Talon opened at Dorney Park in 2001, it was a major investment for the park. The newest major coaster at Dorney before Talon was Steel Force, and Talon was the first new coaster in 4 years, so park visitors and coaster fans were ready when Talon was unleashed. Let's take a virtual ride on Talon. Immediately out of the station, you climb the 135-foot lift hill. As you reach the top, you turn to the right and fly down the spiraling first drop. This moment is great. Even though the drop is only at a 50-degree angle, the spiral aspect of it makes it feel much steeper, and you experience great positive G-forces at the bottom. Right after the drop, you perform the first inversion, a vertical loop. This loop also provides great forces and does a nice job of kickstarting the back-to-back inversions that occur after the drop. From the loop, you cruise into a 0G roll for a moment of weightlessness. This element has some decent height to it and provides great lead-up and follow-through. After the 0G roll, you fall into a channel in the ground as you begin your ascent into an Immelman loop. This is another great inversion. The dip below the surface of the ground adds an element of thrill and speed as you perform the maneuver. After the Immelman, you experience the only moment on Talon that could be considered a lull. Here you make a 360-degree turn, climb slightly upwards, and enter one of my favorite parts of the ride. Just as you catch your breath, you plummet down a quick drop and quickly bank to the right. This drop provides a nice little pop of airtime. Talon performs its final inversion, a fast, forceful corkscrew. Then you are thrown to your left side as you make a sharp, just off the ground, leftward bank 360-degree turn. Before the turn can fully finish, the train slightly turns to the right and jumps upward into the brake run. And finally, you are able to catch your breath. Talon is a truly non-stop experience. Many B&M inverts feature a mid-course brake run or moments where they begin to slow down. This is the case for Raptor at Cedar Point, where the ride really slows down after the mid-course break, and Great Bear at Hershey Park, which has a fun first half followed by a boring, uneventful second half that crawls into the break. Talon, on the other hand, experiences no such moments. The only portion of the ride that slightly slows down is the 360-degree turn after the Immelman. But if you are riding towards the back of the train, that moment continues to have a good amount of speed. And once you enter that final drop, Talon flies through each of the remaining elements with ferocity. It is truly difficult for me to find faults with Talon. As far as B&M inverts are concerned, it is in my top 2. It may even be my favorite. The only other B&M invert that I have been on that is in the running for the top invert spot is Afterburn at Carowinds. Talon has spectacular pacing, its inversions are fun and forceful, and the moments in between are calculated and meaningful. Every turn or short change in elevation makes the ride dynamic and interesting. With the exception of a very tiny portion of track before the final drop, there's really no moments of straight track. Talon is a little more spread out than the Batman B&M invert clones at many of the Six Flags parks, resulting in a little less intensity, but it is still tighter than something like Banshee at Kings Island. In my opinion, Talon really balances out the scale perfectly and provides just the right amount of intensity while allowing its elements to feel grand. It really is the perfect benchmark for a B&M invert. I could go on and on about how much I love this ride. Instead, I will just give it a final score of 9 out of 10. Talon is easily my favorite ride at Dorney Park. Even after over 20 years, it is smooth and runs great. During each visit to Dorney, I always make sure that I get a couple of rides on it, especially when it is a walk-on. I hope you liked this coaster review. If you liked what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, keep on coasting.